Hi, I'm Susan Joyce Schlief from Presentations with Results. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to determine the right amount of information to put into your presentations, webinars, or videos. We're going to use a special template that I've downloaded from the Microsoft Office template site. This is called the Beyond Bullet Points Story Template. You can learn more about why to use this template and where to get it if you go to the blog post on my website, and you'll see the URL for that below. I'm going to show you in a separate video how to fill in the upper section of this form where you set up the introduction for your presentation to make sure it's all about your audience, not about you and your business. Once we've established that introductory section, we move into the part where we actually determine the most important things we're going to talk about in the presentation. You can see this form is divided into 3 columns. If we're giving a very short speech, about 5 to 10 minutes, we're only going to use this first column and put in the 3 main points we want to make. If it's a little bit longer, somewhere in the 15 to 30 minute range, we'll add the second column as well, some sub-points for each of the main points. And the final column is for a longer presentation of 45 to 60 minutes. And in that case, we can add details, demonstrations, examples for each of the sub-points that we made. Let me get started filling this in, and you'll see how it works. The 3 main points I want to make in this presentation are branding and marketing are more important than your products and services. The second point, what a brand highlights doesn't have to be a benefit, it just needs to differentiate. And the final point is, so those are the 3 important things I want my audience to remember from this presentation. Now, this is a longer presentation, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in the next column. Under this first primary point, I'm going to list 3 sub-points. Alright, so those are my 3 sub-points for the first section. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the sub-points for the second section, and then we'll go back and fill in the third column. And for this point, I'm actually making the second column be some examples. So those all 3 show examples of a brand that we easily identify, but it doesn't really tell you any benefit of the product. It just helps to differentiate that product from all the others, similar products. And the final section talks about ways that you can polish your brand. The number 1 way is to write and publish a book. Another way to polish your brand. And the final way. So if we were only giving a 15 to 30 minute presentation, we would be finished now. For a longer presentation, I would go and fill in this final column, some details or examples or demonstrations. And in talking about brand quality always wins over product quality, I'm going to give a couple of examples here. And then in the course of my talk, I would discuss those items a little bit further and explain. So for example, for Domino's Pizza, I would say there was a survey in 2009 that actually rated Domino's Pizza as the last place for the best tasting pizza. They were tied with Chuck E. Cheese as the worst tasting pizzas, and yet they're one of the top 4 brands. And part of it is because they're so well known from their slogan, guaranteed 30-minute delivery. So you can see how the structure of the talk works now. We have 3 main points that we want the audience to remember about branding. 1, 2, 3 here. We would talk about the first one and then go into the subpoints for that, go into the detail, demonstrations, examples for that point. Then we'd move on to the second subpoint and the details for that, the third subpoint, and then we'd move on to our next major point. So this is sort of creating an outline, but it's creating it sideways across the page because this helps us to break it down depending on the length of the presentation. And once you've defined this structure, then you can use it to create multiple different presentations of different lengths based on the same information. In a separate video, I'm going to demonstrate how to take these sentences once the form is complete and transfer them into PowerPoint to become the headlines for each of your slides in your presentation. In the meantime, to read more about using this form or about why you should limit your presentation to only 3 to 4 main points, please go to presentationswithresults.com and look for my blog post called How Much is Too Much Information? I've included the URL for you at the end of this video. And thank you for watching.